All right, you are tuned in to Listen in 3D, episode number 6. I'm your boy, Justin Reed, aka Too Tall for You Fool.
And I'm Janetta, aka Wondrous Net.
And together we are Team 3D, Listen in 3D, where we discuss, dissect, and debate the music and albums in the world of hip hop and other genres. If you're watching us on YouTube, be sure to give us a like, give us a comment, and subscribe. Any feedback is much appreciated. Share this content around as well. And if you want to help us out even further, ring that notification bell when you subscribe. That way, you get a notification when all our videos go live. And we have a lot of content coming. And I'm very excited about this episode today. But before we get into it, Netta, how you been? And talk to you in a minute.
I've been pretty good. I can't complain. How about you?
Been good, been good. Just had a birthday, and just living a life. And um, I know Veterans Day at the time of this recording just happened this past weekend, and my daughter is home from school, so that's always fun. But
Well, happy birthday.
all right, thank you, thank you.
Or happy belated birthday.
Yeah, well, you told me on the day, so that's cool. I appreciate it. All right, so without further ado, what album are we talking about today, Netta?
Today we're talking about DJ Quik's Quik Is The Name, which was released on January 15th, 1991. It was certified platinum. It had singles including Born and Raised in Compton, Tonight, and Quik Is The Name. All three of those had videos along with Sweet Black Pussy. Um, this was DJ Quick's debut album. He had guest appearances from Second to None, AMG, and High C.
All right, so this is DJ Quick's debut album. Quick is a magnificent producer. If you've heard his music before, you know that he wants to, be considered a musician in just about everything he touches. And the production on this album is groundbreaking. With that being said, I'm just going to throw this out there, and it's just my personal opinion. This is not his best work. All right, I'm not gonna say it's his worst work either, but I mean, for me personally, like the album after this, the album after that, even like up to the Book of David, which came out about 10 years ago now, I think is much better than this. So he's definitely evolved the sound, but in terms of hip hop, this was one of the most groundbreaking debuts from an artist. So um, with that being said, we are going to do this one, but hopefully later on down the line we could do some more of his other work along with some of the guest appearances he has on this album. And so, what were your pre-listening thoughts on this album, Netta?
I thought I knew this guy because I watched Love and Marriage DC, and there's a guy named DJ Quick on there, but apparently his full name is DJ Quick Silva.
Oh,
So this is the wrong guy. So I thought I was listening to his album, so I expected him, but I guess I really didn't know anything going in. I guess you already knew him. So what were your pre-listening thoughts?
well, I mean, I had this album. I don't think I have the CD. I know I have his greatest hits, and his greatest hits or the finale looks a little similar to that in the cover there. But I mean, just I didn't listen to it necessarily in 1991, but going in, from what I can remember, I was just expecting some groundbreaking P Funk productions from him, and for the most part, he delivers on that. Um, so, but I mean, and I've definitely heard the singles on the radio, and we'll get into the singles here momentarily. But yeah, but for the most part, yeah, DJ Quick. I mean, he's I've seen him in concert live several times. He's a great performer.
Hmm.
The ladies love him,
You
and
s- did you see him in California?
yeah, yeah, yeah. So yeah, I've seen him in concert, and one thing I will suggest. I mean, I know we go over recommendations every time, but I'll chime you some of his more later songs on the side, and see if you like it or whatnot. But a lot of people love him, especially the ladies. So, all right. What are your thoughts on the artwork for the album cover?
um, I like the artwork. It kind of had like a sepia filter kind of thing.
Mm,
Um, Even though the album to me seemed more light and
yeah,
fun, the album cover is kind of like serious,
yeah.
which is kind of strange. But I like the album cover. What about you?
Album cover is good. Just him. I mean, just Quick as the Name. Just setting the tone. And I think he's had better album covers since then. But I mean, for the most part, I don't think it was too bad in 1991. And with you, I mean, many people do consider this a hardcore gangsta rap album. But for me, I think it was a little more on the fun side, a little bit more on the definitely the humorous side as well. So, yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
pretty
and I
humorous.
I didn't know. Maybe you can tell me, but it was like he mentioned having khakis on this album like 30 times, and I'm like, is I can't tell if he's just referencing oh, we wear khakis, or is he trying to be ironic? Like khakis are like
Khakis.
a work thing. I don't know.
Are you familiar with the pants Dickies? Or
Yeah, yeah. I know that
yeah,
was like the style in California, but the way he says
yeah,
stuff like, watch a whole bunch of men with khakis beat up somebody. I'm like, is I don't know if he's
yeah.
being like
That was
ironic.
kind of the style. I could show you some like other like cover arts, like just t-shirt khakis. I mean, that's what dudes would usually get, like going to the swap meet. Back then, it was kind of a lot of guys they couldn't afford to shop at like bigger department stores like Macy's or J.C. Penney or stores like that. Just so they went to the swap meet for some Dickies or some khakis or whatever you want to call it. Ben Davis. I know that's another one. It's cheap, and I wear Dickies when I go to work. So I mean, and sometimes I mean they are comfortable. Lately, I've been more into the sweatpants. So what's up?
I just said they look comfortable.
Yeah, yeah, they are. I mean, I think they are more comfortable than jeans, but I mean, jeans I do like to wear like when I go out on like nice occasions and stuff like that. But I mean, it was a style back then. Some people, they still wear it as a style. So I mean, that's a good question. So, but I think the theme, just he just really establishes himself as a musician in this piece of work here. So anyway, let's get into what you think the best beat was.
I liked tonight. It was like I like I like the robotic voice saying
Um,
tonight, and I like the I don't know, it had kind of like a computer love kind of feel on the beat. What about you? What did you think?
I think tonight was also my favorite beat when it comes down to it. I mean, I like the sample that he uses in that song, and it. I mean, for '91, for him to put out a song like that, it was kind of ahead of his time if you really think about it. Because even like when I first heard it, I thought it was like something brand new. I was like, oh, this was done like in '91 when I finally got my hands on the CD and everything. So I mean, I mean, a lot of the stuff he does on this album is just like groundbreaking in my opinion, production wise, and he is one of the best out there when it comes down to it. So, but yeah, that was
Yeah,
my favorite beat.
I agree. It sounded like futuristic in a way. I liked it. So we both have that down. So that must be a really good beat.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. All right, so let's get into the album singles. Which one would you like to talk about first?
Um, let's do Born and Raised in Compton.
All right, born and raised in Compton. I think I think it did have the second best beat on there, and for the most part, I think it's a very good song. He identifies where he's from, even though he's like the third or fourth artist to start rapping coming from out of Compton, I guess you could say. So I mean, I don't think he like really surprised anyone with this song, considering what had been done before him. But I mean, it's a very good song, and just describes his what had been going on with him during his time in Compton. Like the part of the song where he was like, when my equipment got stolen, all that good stuff. So, well, it's not good, but I feel that he definitely does a great job of just describing where he's from, and didn't make the place sound any friendlier than what it was back then. So, what were your
Yeah,
thoughts on Born and Raised?
I liked it too. It's like kind of like him introducing himself in a way.
Hmm.
The part where he got his equipment stole stuck out
Yeah,
to me too. When he says they must have thought I was gonna play the punk role just because my equipment got stole,
yeah,
but I ain't going out like no sucker ass clown. They found they couldn't keep a dope nigga down.
mm,
So I'm sure that was a big moment when you go out back in the 80s or early 90s and buy that kind of equipment and it all
yeah,
gets is stolen from you and he just went back got another one and kept
yeah.
going, so
It's
that speaks to his character.
yeah, it's a little more affordable now, even considering inflation. But drum machines, MPCs, that shit was very expensive back then. Well, I mean, you had to really have some kind of money to be buying that kind of equipment, especially like in the late '80s, early '90s when that stuff was first coming up. So, and then I do like,
Yeah.
how he does, the shout outs at the end. He did a lot of shout outs in this on this album as well. I was just like, damn, he really shouted out a lot of
Oh
people.
yeah.
What were your thoughts on the? What are you saying?
I was just gonna probably ask you the same question. What did you think of the video for
Yeah,
this?
yeah, yeah. Music video. I'm not gonna lie to you. I think it could have been done better. I'm not a fan of the whole black and white thing. I do like how he had like a Thomas Guide map or whatever, like highlighting the city with a flashlight. That I thought that was pretty cool. But in terms of like, the people, like, I mean, I know he had women in there, and I know AMG, Second to None, and High C made appearances, but I think it would have been better if you had gotten rid of the black and white a little bit. I'm not a fan of black and white. I watched, I mean, I was a big Nickelodeon kid growing up. I watched a lot of Nick at Night, and it's just like you watch those like old black and white sitcoms. It's just like, how can people watch this shit? Like, I mean, that's just me. Like, so I mean, yeah, I really didn't care too much for the music video. I thought it could have been
The
done a little better. What about you?
I know what you mean with the black and white. It kind of leaves you wanting in a way. Like I just want to inject some color into this so I can see what's really
Yeah,
going on. But it was the black and white. In addition to that, it was kind of like constant flashing
yeah,
back and forth. But I liked how he had like a dancing. He had a lot of dancing silhouettes.
yeah. He did.
I thought that was unique. I I got a question. He had on a Kings gear, but it
Oh
looked
yeah.
like Lakers font.
Oh,
Maybe that's because because of the black and white.
okay. Yeah, during that time, if I don't know if I know you're into sports a little bit. If you're into ice hockey, NHL, the LA Kings logo was a little similar to the Lakers during that time. It was like silver, black. It was like kind of the style back then. I do like the trench coat he was wearing. I know those jackets are kind of hard to
Yeah.
find, and with the LA Kings hat. So yeah, they're the ice hockey team out here in Southern California. Well, one of two. The other one being the Anaheim Ducks, um, but yeah, I mean that was kind of like the font at the time. So I did like that. I mean, I did like what he was wearing. If I could find one of those, I would definitely get myself one. But they're kind of hard to find. Kind of similar to like because the Raiders were in LA during that time also, so they were kind of mimicking what the Raiders were doing in that sense.
Okay, that makes sense. I liked how I guess it started off with they had like somebody rolling a globe and then the globe zooms into Compton
Yeah.
and they keep showing flashes
But like I
of
said, the
Compton
the
like
map
that.
thing I thought was done very well. I just wanted some more color
Yeah.
in there. That's just me.
Yeah. But you know what else his hair on there was insane. It was like it was a perfectly done roller set. It was
Yeah, he
It was
Yeah,
really nice, but you would expect it like a on a grandmother, but it was well
yeah,
done.
he definitely knew how to do his hair back then. You know, he had the Jerry curl, he'd straighten it out. I mean, if you see some of his later work, you'll be like, oh yeah, yeah, I like I like the dude's hair. You know.
Yeah, I think in every video he had it a different hairdo.
Yeah, yeah. So, but yeah, I mean, but born and raised in Compton, good song. Just I think the video could have been done a little better, but I don't expect too much for it being 91 back then, like compared to what we've had now. So, um,
Yeah.
all right. So we'll go with the second. Well, I don't think it was the second single. I think it was actually the third single. "Quick Is The Name." Um, of all the singles, I would say this is my least favorite, and it's one of the quickest songs on the album. Now that I think about it, it was an all right song, but it didn't chart or anything. It didn't make much noise. Um, but I mean, I do like the beat a little bit, but it just went a little too fast, and chorus I thought was pretty cool, like with the drums. But in terms of like lyricism, I don't think he said anything lyrically that really stood out to me, in my opinion. But I do like the scratching for like the what he did during the chorus. What were your thoughts on "Quick Is the Name"?
It was very fast. It was almost as if the only time you could really take a break and take it in was the chorus when it's just doing all of that stuff and then saying quick, really
Yeah.
quickly. It was really fast. I guess I was kind of impressed with just how fast he could talk in a way because I probably if I practiced that I wouldn't be able to do it. I was impressed at that. One one of the things he said I'd rather be dope than use it on that one, and I like that line.
I think,
um,
yeah. I mean, I think I'm a producer. If a rhythm is dope, I choose it. I mean, I think after the whole Tecmo Bowl
yeah.
line, and Tecmo Bowl's old video game, so I guess that kind of got my attention a little bit. But in terms of like significance, I don't think he really said too much. And then what about the video? Any thoughts on that?
Um, it was. I guess he was just like kind of in the hood, shooting dice, playing cards.
Yeah,
You have the people in the background kind of struck me because they're just all like just such serious faces, not really moving around. I'm like, wow, what's happening? And then one of the things I was laughing at is I think he was like holding two $100 bills. He kept on pulling them out, and I'm like, oh
oh,
my god! In 2023, people would say you better get like 8 stacks of those. But
yeah.
it was an interesting video.
Yeah, I thought the video was pretty interesting. I think of all the videos for this album, it was the most laid back one. When just I mean, and I've seen artists do this before, where it's, hey, homies, y'all want to be in this video, so he hooked us homies, he hooked his friends up, to be in the music video for the most part. So I thought that was pretty cool. And
Yeah.
but not too much to say about that one. And then last but not least, tonight, thoughts on that song?
Um, it was my favorite beat, but
Hmm.
it didn't have my favorite verses. But when I saw the video, I was like, this is interesting. There's a lot going on. There's an interesting color scheme going on with like purple and
Yeah.
pinks, and he's sitting like in a tub in the country with his hair breezing, and I'm like, okay, this is. Then the other thing that tripped me out is there's a girl whenever he opens the refrigerator, there's like a different scene in the refrigerator behind the 40s. There's
Yeah.
a girl dancing behind the 40s. I'm like, okay. The video made me like the song more. What did you think of it?
The video, it was definitely an interesting video. Much better than Born and Raised in Compton, in my opinion. The dancer when he opens up the fridge or freezer or whatever, I think that was pretty cool. And then like when his homies are on the second verse, like it's the bomb when he I thought that was pretty humorous as well. Um,
Yeah.
yeah, it was. Yeah, it got to show you that Quick is a pretty laid back guy, and that's the vibes you got from this album. It was just laid back. I mean, no shooting anyone or anything like that. I mean, a young man who liked to have fun. So I know one of my favorite verses on the song had to be the third verse where he was like, "Wake up Saturday morning and I got a headache. I think that I'm sick from all that shit that I drank." So I mean, that's a good
And then he
verse.
goes on to
Yeah,
say, I'm ready to do it all over again,"
yeah,
after he promises he'll never do it again.
yeah. So I thought that was kind of yeah. It was. I mean, I think a lot of people have been through that before. So I think both you and I can both relate to a hangover. So I thought that was pretty cool. So and
I
then
I've definitely sworn off liquor a time or two, only to go back to it.
yeah, yeah, same. That's why I mainly just drink beer now. And then even though it wasn't a single, I figured we'd just talk about it real quick. Sweet Black Pussy. Any thoughts on that song, the music video, etc.?
Um, I thought the angles that were on there were fun and interesting.
Mm,
It almost seemed like modern, like I don't know how much you've watched modern music videos, but a
mm.
lot of them feature like a whole bunch of ass everywhere, shaking ass
Yeah.
everywhere, and
Well, I've been to a strip
it kind of
clubs.
reminded me of that.
I've been to a strip club, so I've seen
Oh,
enough of it. But I mean, I was a little shocked that it was his first song on the whole album. Like you first put it in, you figured like "Quick Is The Name" or something like "Born and Raised in Compton" would be the first song, but no, it's "Sweet Black Pussy," and it actually appears on one of his greatest hits albums too. So I mean, I thought the song was average at best. Yeah, music video. I mean, like I said, I mean, if you've never been to a strip club before, there you go. I mean, I was surprised there was a video for it, but somehow I found it. And but yeah, it was not a single. I mean, average song at best. And then I think he actually has some better pussy songs, if you know what I mean. If you listen to more of his later work, so so I mean, that's just my opinion on that one. All right. So let's get into our top three songs for the whole album. Would you like to start, Netta?
sure. Should we go like one at a time, or
Yeah, yeah,
should we
yeah. Well,
say
we can,
all three?
just also one at a time. If it's a single, we can just bypass it and just go on to the next one. Go into the deeper cuts.
Okay, the one that was a single that I have as my top three is "Born and Raised in Compton."
All right.
I did just like how how much he showed his grit
Mm-hmm.
in that one. I liked Quick's Groove. That
Quick
was
groove.
probably my favorite song on the
All
whole
right.
album. I I I like to be able to listen to music while I'm either writing or reading or something
Mm-hmm.
like that, and I'm not usually able to on a song with lyrics. So this one was really it was a really beautiful song. I really loved it.
All right. I'll chime in on that one. Well, first off, "Born and Raised in Compton" isn't one of my picks. I think it's a great song. Definitely top five, but I mean, in terms of it, just wasn't my favorite, even though it had one of the best beats. But Quick Groove, it's interesting that you say that. And I was actually going to talk about this too. If you listen to any more of DJ Quick's discography, he always has a Quick Groove on his albums.
Oh, that's
And
cool.
yeah, and it's I've never really done much of it, but or looked into it too much, but I think he just wants to put these on there just so he displays his production skills. And I mean, if that's one of your favorites, then you're loving his sound. I will say after we get off this podcast, listen to more of DJ Quick. I found a winner with her, folks. DJ Quick. It's growing on her. Uh, and then what is your last pick? Then we'll get into mine.
I like Loped Out Hood just because it's just telling a story about the day.
Mm.
Um, I like a part particularly where the beat shifts after he
Oh
says
yeah,
he's drinking
yeah. I
this
like the
drink
beat
I've never
shifts.
heard of.
yeah. The beat
Yeah,
shifts in that
yeah,
song were really good. Again, not one of my picks, but I like the beat shift. The production's good, and it just shows like how sick his style was for it being 1991. So um, it's a good song, and just definitely pretty nice, easygoing song. So
yeah.
my top three
What were
picks.
your top 3? Mhm.
Singles, you probably already saw this coming tonight, and we already talked about it. So I'll just move on to the next one. Um, Second one I'm going to go with is the Bomb Bud, and I don't smoke weed or anything like that, but I do like a lot of weed songs. And the fact that he was just able to do a reggae record on this whole thing, I think it's just like magnificent. Like who the hell is this guy? Like, shouldn't he be? Yeah, I thought it was a pretty cool song. Just the singing, and it's like you would think that he's a reggae singer. Like after hearing it, like if that was the first DJ Quick song I gave you to listen, I think, yeah, you would be like,
No, the I really like the chorus in
yeah,
that song.
yeah,
For me, I honestly felt the opposite.
hmm
When I heard him doing the accent, the Jamaican accent, I'm like, oh my god, this sounds so fake. But I really like the chorus.
yeah. I don't listen to too much reggae, but I mean, I could probably see how it could sound fake to someone. Especially if you've heard him before, like that he's not like full on Jamaican or anything like that. So, but I thought
Is he does he have Jamaican roots?
maybe I don't know. I mean, his real name is David Blake, so I mean, I don't think so. And then last song I'm gonna highlight as one of my favorites, and I'll do a few shout outs as well. I got that feeling. I love the beat, and just I think it's funny at the beginning of the song where I guess his friend AMG is like, I think he's afraid of pussy, man. But I mean, beat's good, and then it's just like he talks about how he wants to hang out with a girl, and I want to rock your world and all that stuff. So just I thought it was a really good song. Wish it could have been a little bit longer. I wish a lot of the songs on here could have been a little bit longer, in my opinion, because it was a pretty quick album, if you know what I mean. But any
Yeah,
thoughts on I Got
that
That
song.
Feeling?
Yeah, he says, "I may be quick on the tables, but I'm forever in bed." He's I liked it too. I liked how he was bantering with his friend, and at
Yeah,
the end of saying, "Well, you might have a little game, but you don't got more game than me." And they're going back and forth. I thought that was funny.
yeah. Other songs I want to highlight is obviously Quick's Groove. I was going to talk about that if you didn't bring it up, but since it was one of your favorites, I figured any DJ Quick album any of you guys listen to, definitely check out the Quick's Groove and just listen to the instrumental. Check out his production skills. He's magnificent when it comes to just creating beats, and he's more than a rapper. He's a musician, folks. And then another one I really like that I want to highlight is 8 Ball. Not to be confused with NWA's 8 Ball, but he actually did sample it a little bit. But I thought, he likes to get tore up bent if you listen to the night. So it's I really enjoyed 8 Ball as well. Any other songs you wanted to highlight?
Um, Not really. That was about all.
All right. He did not have any album cuts or expansions, so none that I know of anyway that I couldn't find. So we'll get into recommendations real quick. Uh, Recommendations. Obviously, we'll highlight the three artists that were on this album with them. Second to None, and their self-titled album, Second to None. Second to None is a hip hop duo from Compton with KK and Rhythm. No, not Rhythm D. What is that guy? Um, oh, Yeah, Gangsta D. Yeah, KK and Gangsta D. And then, um, so that was a good album. He played a hand of production in that album, and he also makes an appearance. And then also one more thing about Second to None. He actually sports a Second to None hat in the Quik Is The Name video. I don't know if you noticed or not, but so I thought that was pretty cool. So yeah, that was one of his crew members. AMG, bitch better have my money. I think he was the first one to say that on a record anyway. I'm sure people have been saying that for years. He played a hand in production in that album as well. And then High C Scandalous. He didn't produce the whole album. He helped a little bit with it. But High C featuring Tony A. Scandalous. Definitely check those three albums out if you're looking for something a little similar during that time. And obviously check out his whole discography. If you want something a little similar to what he did on this one, definitely check out the one after this, Way Too Funky. One of my personal favorites. And hopefully we get to do that album one of these days. All right. Final thoughts on this album? Taking any of these songs back to your everyday playlist, or you're just leaving this alone and moving on? Gonna get into more DJ Quik.
Um, I'm definitely taking Quick's Grooves. I'm gonna add it to my playlist.
All right.
The album as a whole, um, considering, I mean, I'm like a 33-year-old woman, so it's a little different for me. But when I'm considering this is a 19-year-old guy talking about having fun, getting women, wearing khakis with his bros, getting drunk, being a DJ, you know, trying to make the best of it out of his life.
Yeah.
I think it's a good album.
Yeah, I think it's a good album also. Again, in my opinion, not his greatest album. He's definitely has better work people, so definitely check out his discography. But in terms of what was done in '91, I thought it was great, solid. Only thing I would have liked to see more is just maybe make some of those songs a little longer. But hey, Quick is his name, and that's how he's doing it. So, folks, we want your opinion. What are your thoughts on this album? What do you guys think? Give us some of your favorite tracks you didn't like, anything we missed. Let us know in the comments below. In the meantime, this has been episode number 6 of Listen in 3D. I'm your boy, Justin Reed, aka Too Tall for You Fool.
And Janetta, aka Wondrous Net.
All right, and thank you for watching and or listening to us today. Be sure to check us out on all our watching and listening platforms. We will see you on the next one. Later.